Alright, displacements video part 3. So we've got our higher resolution, kind of smooth, more curvy, natural appearing displacement. So now we're going to paint it. So this will be a pretty quick video, and I'm going to show you how to do a blended texture. So first we're going to go ahead and select our displacement. So here it is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. There's my displacement. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and center it up. I'm going to go to my texture tool. I'm going to go to browse, and in filter you're going to type in the word blend. B-L-E-N-D, blend, like blender, but blend. And so what we're looking for are textures that are blended, which means there's two textures in one. Normally they will show up with this little diagonal. Sometimes they don't, but they'll have blend in the name. And those will usually work. You can test them and see, but normally they'll have this diagonal split to show you what you're working with. But if you look at some of these, like this one here says blend dirt mud 01. So my guess would be that this is dirt and mud. The two materials are blended. I'm going to use one of the more obvious ones for the sample here. I am going to do the I'm going to do this one right here, blend cliff grass 001A. Okay, so it's a very obvious blend texture. So I'm going to double click it, and that's going to load it up into my texture selection here. Okay, so I opened my texture tool, I clicked browse, I typed in blend, and then I found a blended texture that I wanted to use. I double click it, and then we're going to go to our displacement tab, and we're going to select paint alpha. Now these two buttons are the ones we're primarily going to use. If you click invert alpha, you'll notice on my displacement it switched over to the opposite texture, to the grass. Now watch what happens when I click invert alpha again. So now it's switched over to the rock or the cliff face. So you would go ahead and pick whichever one that you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to set this as, I don't know, grass. Alright. Then I'm going to select paint alpha. And it gives me this little thing right here. Displacement paint alpha. So the value goes from 1 to 255. So that means 1 is all the way one of the materials or textures. 255 is 100% of the other one. So this is a blended texture. So there's grass and there's rocks in my texture. So 1 would be like solid rock. I'm not sure which is which, but and then 255 would be solid grass. If you blend this value number, you're going to get some rock and some grass. So for now, we'll just leave it all the way over at 255. The brush, this correlates to the size of the brush that you're going to paint with. So let's go to like a 3. All right. So now we're going to come in here, and I'm going to start painting. Now when I left click, nothing happened because I inverted my alpha. So that means I need to right click to paint. So if you try to paint with your left mouse button and nothing happens, that means you probably inverted it. So just press the other button. So now if I go back and press my left button, it's going to put grass back. If I right click, it puts rock. So what now I'm going to do here is I'm going to fly around, and I'm going to paint little bits of rock around where I want rock to be. You know, all of my mountain tops and whatever. And I can switch out brush sizes if I want to use smaller brushes, larger brushes. if I think I should be using different sizes. I can also adjust this a little bit if I want to blend the materials in a little bit. So if I want to have a little bit of grass mixed in with the rock, right? So for this video, what I want you to do now is I want you to find a blend texture, and I want you to go ahead and paint your mountains and your valleys. And typically the mountain tops are going to be rocks and the valleys are going to be some kind of a vegetation or something like that, dirt or mud, you know. So, but really whatever you want, I just want to see that you've done a blended texture. So your final screenshot for today's assignment will be a displacement using these really nice soft displacement edges, and then also a blended texture on it. So this is pretty ugly. I would have to finish this, but I want you to blend texture the entire displacement. All right, that is it.